At the end of the last episode, Jesus told John, "I hold the 7 stars in my right hand. I walk among the 7 golden lampstands. I see everything." And then he teased a letter to a church that did everything right. Everything. Sound doctrine, hard work, tested false teachers, rejected them. And Jesus still had to write a warning letter because the church did something wrong that was worse than heresy. It forgot to love. John is old, maybe 90, and he is living in Ephesus, the greatest port on the Mediterranean. Ships from everywhere, wealth flowing in. The Temple of Artemis, one of the 7 wonders of the ancient world, sits right there, and the whole city is built around it. But there is a church here too. Paul planted it 40 years ago. Timothy pastored it. And now in his exile, John is here, and he knows this church inside and out. It is hard-working. It is careful. It is tested. It believes the right things. And Jesus wants to tell them something they need to hear. Jesus does not start with the warning. He starts with what he sees. I know your works, your labor, your patience. He sees them working. He sees them enduring. He sees them refusing to be weary. You cannot bear those who are evil. They have standards. They do not compromise truth for comfort. You have tested those who say they are apostles and are not, and have found them liars. They sit in judgment on false teachers, and they get it right. They expose false apostles. They have discernment. Every gift a church could have, they seem to have it. So the commendation is real. The commendation is earned. But there is a nevertheless coming. There is always a nevertheless. Nevertheless, I have this against you, that you have left your first love. The first love. Think about that phrase. It is not the love of doctrine. It is not the love of correctness or discernment or hard work. It is the first love. The love you had when you first met Jesus, the wonder, the gratitude, the heat of devotion, the sense that nothing else mattered because you had found the thing that mattered most, the honeymoon season, and Ephesus left it. They still believed everything true. But the fire went out, the machinery kept running, the lampstand still stood. But the warmth was gone. And Jesus noticed. And so Jesus gives them a 3-word command. Remember, repent, return. Remember therefore from where you have fallen. Fallen, that is the word. They fell from the heights of the first love into a valley of routine. Repent and do the first works, not first doctrine, first works, the works of love, the actions that flow from affection, not obligation. The things you do because you cannot help but do them, not because you have to. And then the sober thing. Or else I will come to you quickly and remove your lampstand from its place, unless you repent. The warning is real. A church without love loses its place, its witness, its light. The lampstand can be lifted up and taken away. This is a modern mirror, because it is possible to be exactly like Ephesus. You can be theologically sound. You can be discerning. You can work hard in church. You can have your doctrines in order, your positions right, your boundaries set, and you can still be cold. Orthodoxy without affection, activity without warmth. You can be more concerned with being right than being loving, more worried about winning arguments than winning people, more protective of your beliefs than open to your neighbor's pain. You can become a church of no S without a yes. No to false teaching, yes, but also no to joy. No to the sense that following Jesus is a romance, not a job. And Jesus sees it, and he warns you, you need the first love back. But there is a promise for those who hear and who return. To him who overcomes, I will give to eat from the tree of life, which is in the midst of the paradise of God. The tree of life. It is from the garden. The tree Adam and Eve could eat from before they fell. The tree of abundance and life and endless provision, the symbol of everything lost in the fall. And Jesus promises that if you repent, if you remember the first love, if you come home to affection, you will eat from it. Paradise will be open to you. The garden will be yours. not as a reward for being right, but as a gift to those who loved him back, those who kept their first love alive. So here is where we land. If you have never given your life to Jesus, do it today. The first love is not regret or guilt or fear. It is meeting Jesus and finding him worthy of everything. It is the romance of grace. If you have already given your life to him, tell somebody. Tell them what the first love means. Tell them that following Jesus is not a list of rules. It is a love affair with the God who loved you first and best. Walk in the purpose God gave you. Live more like Christ. Keep the affection alive. Remember where you fell from. Repent of the coldness. Do the first works. And watch Jesus restore the light. Next time, we meet the church of Smyrna, the church that had nothing but stayed faithful. That is coming up in episode 5.